Get ready, baseball fans, for baseball's best of the bank. For the first time in 30 years, the excitement of the All-Star Game is here. Join us as we celebrate the 6 Phillies in the game and chat with the iconic Dan Baker, celebrating his 3rd All-Star Game. We'll take you behind the scenes to visit the workshop crafting the bats for the big game. Baseball's best of the bank, starting now.
Hello and welcome to Baseball's Best at the Bank. This is our look at all things surrounding the All-Star Game right here in Philadelphia. I'm Lindsay Moppert.
And I'm Tessa Peloso. We have a jam-packed 30-minute show for you tonight, and like the game itself, we've got our own All-Stars. So let's get to tonight's rundown. Dan Wilson from 94 WIP will join us in a moment. Then later on, we'll chat with legendary Phillies PA announcer Dan Baker.
We will also hear about the importance of baseball's HBCU Classic, and we'll take you to the King of Prussia company that makes the official bats for Major League Baseball. That is Victus Sports.
And our friends from Positively Philly will show us a local woman who makes the Phillies truly a work of art.
Tuesday night's All-Star Game will be the 5th time the game is in Philadelphia, the first time in 30 years, and the first one at Citizens Bank Park.
The first 2 All-Star Games were at the old Shibe Park at 21st and Lehigh in North Philly. The Philadelphia Athletics hosted the game in 1943, and the Phillies hosted the game in 1952.
In 1976, the game was at Veterans Stadium. The Phillies were coming into their own, and they were well represented. The Phils had 5 players on that team: catcher Bob Boone, shortstop Larry Boa, second baseman Dave Cash, third baseman Mike Schmidt, and outfielder Greg Luzinski.
Fast forward 20 years and the game returned to the Vet, but it was a much different story for the host team. The Phillies were in last place, and they had only one All-Star that year, and that was closer Ricky Bottalico. And this year, the Phillies have 6 All-Stars, which is more than any other team. First baseman Bryce Harper, DH Kyle Schwarber, pitchers Christopher Sanchez, Joan Duran, and Jesus Luzardo. And we can't forget about the starter, outfielder Brandon Marsh. So let's talk about the Phils All-Star team, who should have been on it, and more. Lindsay, take it away.
All right, thank you, Tessa. There is a lot for Phillies fans to look forward to this upcoming week, and not just the All-Star Game itself. All eyes, of course, will be on the Home Run Derby as well, especially now with Bryce Harper in the mix. So let's talk about what we can expect these next few days with Dan Wilson from Sports Radio 94 WIP. Dan, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We are so happy to be here with you. Let's start first with just your general excitement, about the game being here in Philadelphia, and obviously Bryce Harper's announcement that he's going to be in the Home Run Derby as well.
Sure. So first off, let's start with the Derby. I tweeted this out last night. There was no world where the showman was not doing a CBP Derby. I'm not saying he made up the stuff about his dad, and it is going to be a little bit of a bummer for him that he will not have his dad pitching to him the way he did back at Nats Park in 2018. However, we know he loves the moment. He loves to put on a show for the Philadelphia fans. Always in the back of my mind, kind of believed he would do it. Still waiting on Kyle Schwarber. Hopefully he does it as well. But as far as the game, I'm super stoked about this. Obviously, as a baseball fan, it's great for the city. America 250, everything going on in the region this year. I already had a chance to get down to the ballpark and the convention center earlier this week. The All-Star Village is looking great. The ballpark's looking great. We got multiple amazing events coming up this week. I'm stoked for it.
Very exciting. Yeah. Now, something maybe some people are not so happy about, Zach Wheeler. Everyone's talking about it. He did not get named an All-Star.
Right.
Now, he did speak about the rule that says that if you pitch on Sunday, you can't play in the All-Star Game. What, I guess, are just your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, so I understand the rule. Obviously, you're going on Sunday. You'd be on one-day rest pitching on Tuesday. They put in this rule in 2010. It's meant to protect players. But here's the thing. They should have created a stipulation with it that he still gets the All-Star nod on his ledger. When we argue Zach Wheeler's Hall of Fame case one day or debate him against the other greats of the era, one of the things we'll look at is how many All-Star teams you have made. I'm not saying he has to throw a pitch in Tuesday's game. However, they still could have put him on the team. He got screwed by 2 things here. Number one, he didn't get named to the original team, I believe, because of the rule that states every team has to have at least 1 player. Take a guy like Paul Skeens, who was also pitching on Sunday for the Pirates. Great name. Zach Wheeler's absolutely having a better year than he is this season. he got named to the All-Star game over Zach Wheeler because the Pirates had nobody else. Okay, so we could sit here and debate that rule. But when they went to the replacements, I understand you don't want to use a replacement spot on Wheeler when he's not going to go. But why don't you say Zach Wheeler met the criteria to be an All-Star. He gets it on his ledger. He can tip his cap to the fans on Tuesday when they introduce the players. And then let Luzardo take his spot, and he can throw some pitches on Tuesday. It doesn't apply to that many guys. Feels like Wheeler got screwed on this more than anybody else. That's how I would solve it.
I would completely agree with you on that. But if we're going to talk about the Phil's hitters in the game on
Right.
Tuesday night, more of a positive note there. Brandon Marsh obviously starting the game. How huge has he been this year? And are you surprised, I guess?
Right. Yeah, he's been tremendous. He went from a guy who was like a platoon type guy who you couldn't even start against lefties to by far their best overall outfielder, playing every day, really good average guy, really consistent in that order, hitting at the top of the order. And the Phillies needed it because the drop off in that order, I mean, they got 3 all-star hitters, and then the drop off to the 4th guy is just, anybody's best guess. So he's been huge. He absolutely deserves it. He's by far having a career year. In the baseball All-Star game, there are some guys who are going to be in contention every year. Harper, Schwarber are among them. Brandon Marsh is not one of those guys you pencil in at the start of the season, so he flat out earned it, and he's been tremendous for the Phils in 2026.
And you mentioned guys like Harper, Schwarber. Yeah. What are you looking for on Tuesday night from those guys?
Yeah, just enjoying the moment. Hopefully puts on a show for the fans. Last year, Kyle Schwarber won MVP of the game when he won the swing off in extra innings, so they don't play traditional extra innings in the All-Star game anymore. So that would be really, really cool to see. Harper hopefully puts on a show both Monday night and Tuesday night as well. So hopefully they just, get a hit. Maybe they hit a home run. Schwarber, again, high bar from last year winning MVP, but hopefully it's just a fun thing and the ballpark embraces them.
Exactly. Yeah. We are looking forward to it all.
Yeah.
Dan, obviously, thank you so much. Where can people watch and listen to you?
Yeah, at Dan_Wilson4. I'm on this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday nights after the respective Phillies games. They still got a series in Detroit to worry about. Hopefully they don't mail it in and can stay focused, finishing strong through the break.
All right. Yeah. Well, we are looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Tessa, I'll send it over to you.
Thanks, Lindsay. Much more still to come. Our Jason Lee talks to legendary Phillies PA announcer Dan Baker when baseball's best at the bank comes right back. Welcome back to Baseball's Best at the Bank. One of the greatest MLB PA announcers in history is our very own Dan Baker.
Dan has been the stadium voice of Phillies baseball for 54 years, and he's about to work the All-Star game for a record 3rd time. Our Jason Lee spoke to Dan about what it all means to him.
Lindsay and Tessa, thank you very much. It is a privilege to be here with the great, legendary public address voice of the Phillies. We're here with Dan Baker. Dan, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason. It's an honor to be with you.
I have to ask you, so we're days away from the All-Star game here at Citizens Bank Park. First time in 30 years. You're doing your 3rd All-Star game, which is going to set a record. How excited are you?
Oh, very excited. I'm excited. It doesn't even have to be an All-Star game. I mean, I'm energized, Jason, when I come to the ballpark. It's always been that way since I started in April of 1972. And my coworkers could tell you I'm just as excited for every game. And I've announced, I'm sure, north of 4,000 Phillies home games.
At least.
And, but no, I'm very excited about it. I was very excited for 1976, where I also introduced President Gerald R. Ford.
Okay, so he was at the game.
Yeah.
At Veterans Stadium.
Yeah.
So the game was here in 76, then again in 96, and of course here in 2026. Now, the way it's been lately, Major League Baseball brings in their own guy, or the guy doing play-by-play, in this case, Joe Davis, would share in the public address duties. But this year, they're allowing you to be involved in this because of your longevity and how much they respect you. How does that make you feel?
Very proud and very thankful. Because, the trend has been for the dual events of Major League Baseball, they have a wonderful production team and a terrific PA announcer in Alan Roach. Now, and Alan's going to be doing a lot here this weekend. There are multiple All-Star events. The HBCU Swingman Classic, the Futures game, with the top 2 prospects, Home Run Derby. So I won't be doing those, I will be doing some additional things, but basically I'm just doing the game itself. And even like the announcing both rosters, All-Star rosters for the American League and National League, and the starting lineups at the beginning of the game. My understanding is that Alan will be doing those. We still have to have meetings to discuss, the exact details
But people watching will get to hear the great voice of Dan Baker.
during the game.
That's great. That's awesome. So, you referenced 1976, of course, the bicentennial year. The game was at the Vet. 96, Ricky Bottalico was the only All-Star. But
Number 52, Ricky Bottalico.
is that one of your favorite names to say? I know all public address announcers like saying the long names.
That's right. People ask me who are my favorite names to say. Number 12, second baseman, Mickey Morandini.
That was a Harry Callis favorite, too.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but in 76, I mean, that was when the Phils were just starting to be good. First of 3 straight division championships leading up to the 80 World Series. But you had Schmidt and Boa and Dave Cash and Luzinski. What do you remember about that game with so many Phillies All-Stars on the team? Kind of like what's happening this year.
Well, being a lifelong Phillies fan, I'm a lifelong Philadelphia fan. Eagles, it was the Philadelphia Warriors of the NBA
of
in
course.
the 50s.
Right.
And of course the 76ers and the Eagles, the Sixers, the Flyers, when they came into existence, 67, 68. I root for all the Philadelphia teams, high school, college. It's always been that way. I'm a big Philadelphia sports fan.
That's great. So, just to wrap this up, let's pretend it's Tuesday night. Bryce Harper is stepping to the plate for the National League. What will the crowd hear?
Now batting for the National League, number 3, Bryce Harper. The reason I'm hesitating is because I'm not quite sure
What position?
the context.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Okay.
But whatever it is, I will know well in advance and be happy to announce it. Happy, proud as a peacock.
And we're going to be proud to hear your voice coming out of the speakers.
Thank you,
Dan, thank you.
So nice to meet you.
Have fun Tuesday night.
I shall.
All right. Tessa and Lindsay, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, coming up, it's one of the many great events surrounding the All-Star Game. Our Tyrone Sharper shares the significance of the annual HBCU Classic.
Plus, the official bat of Major League Baseball is made in the Philadelphia area. I'll take you along with me to Victus Sports to see how it all happens. Stay here.
All right, welcome back to Baseball's Best at the Bank as we turn the page to one of the many great events happening during All-Star Week, the HBCU Swingman Classic.
It's actually happening as we speak. Our Tyrone Sharper got a preview of the game and some background on why it's so important.
Well, we're here at the beautiful Citizens Bank Park, home of the 2026 MLB All-Star Game. There will be a lot of great events happening, but we're here to tell you about one that's truly one of a kind, the HBCU Swingman Classic.
The Swingman Classic is just a great celebration of diversity in baseball. And it's just a fantastic way to recognize the players that are playing ball at HBCU universities, and we're really proud to be able to help them celebrate it and recognize these players.
Can you just talk about the coaches and how that's selected and the coaches that are going to be here this year?
Yeah, so Jimmy Rollins and Ricky Weeks, I mean, with J-Roll doing it, he did the Futures game in LA a couple of years ago, and I reached out to him early on this year. He's carrying the torch, and he's passing on his knowledge, obviously through the broadcast, but now he gets to be hands-on with a group of players coming through, and a lot of these players, I'm sure, saw him play in the World Series, looked up to J-Roll, so it's great to have him, and with his presence and him, what he did in Philadelphia, no better person to have, I think, leading these young men and just being around and having fun, and then letting them see who he is and how he did it.
A lot of people aren't teaching about HBCUs as an option, right? But the atmosphere itself, can you just talk about what we can expect and what this night is going to be like when it's time for the Swingman Classic?
Yeah, I mean, expect some great baseball, number one. I think that you're definitely going to expect a festive atmosphere. There'll be everything from drum lines to, I know the Divine Nine will be doing some step shows as well. So I mean, you know, plenty of people have been to baseball games before, but definitely expect a very festive atmosphere.
How cool is it to have it here in South Philly at Citizens Bank Park to kick off All-Star Weekend?
HBCU vibes are a different type of vibe. Being an HBCU graduate from the Delaware State University, so we're excited to have Swingman Classic here as a kickoff to All-Star Week.
And why do you believe it's important for stuff like this to go on and people to learn about the culture and the option of students being able to attend an HBCU?
I think giving the players this platform to be on a national stage at this point is really good, just to highlight them and also highlight HBCUs as well, because some people don't know about them, but also giving you the platform to show what HBCUs can bring.
Well, the HBCU Swingman Classic seems like it's going to be a great night of fun and an awesome baseball game. From Citizens Bank Park, I'm Tyrone Sharper.
Well, the official bat of Major League Baseball is very busy leading up to the All-Star Game. I got a chance to visit Victus Sports to look at the craftsmanship behind the equipment used by some of the game's biggest stars. It is All-Star Week, so I'm in the batting cages here at Victus Bats. We're giving you a little inside scoop with some of the bats the players will be using this week.
We're here at our headquarters out in King of Prussia. We're back in the production area. Tom over here is turning some of our All-Stars, so Harper, Brandon Marsh, PCA, running through all the All-Stars now, getting ready for the weekend.
How many bats are you guys doing today?
700 between all the guys we have, and then Bruce is doing all the custom bats.
Here at Victus, I'm in charge of doing all the kind of cool custom designs that you see out there. You know, I'll come up with stuff, and I have a team here that helps me create it and bring it to life, and then you see it on the field getting swung at the plate. We try to take care of the All-Stars when they come to town. We try to give them something special, something that will commemorate the city as well as the All-Star Game, so they'll all get a City of Brotherly Love bat.
No one has seen these yet, so we're the first people to show these off. The cheesesteak bats. I mean, the detail you put into this is awesome.
This bat is probably my most controversial bat, because everyone has a favorite spot, a favorite way they like to eat it, but the players will get one here that has their name written in cheese, and yeah, you'll see these at the plate. You'll see them on the home run derby stage and all that.
Or is this like the norm for you guys, or is it kind of amped up a little bit?
We're used to the craziness for sure, but it's a little more crazy this week. Just getting ready for All-Star. Obviously, it's a big moment for us. It's in our hometown, so we want to show out right.
All right, coming up on baseball's Best at the Bank, the local artist making Phillies baseball a masterpiece. That's next.
Well, welcome back. Take a look at our baseball's Best at the Bank trivia question. Who is the only Phillies player to win an All-Star Game MVP award?
The answer is Johnny Callison. He hit a 3-run walk-off home run in the 1964 All-Star Game at Shea Stadium in New York.
This is baseball's Best at the Bank as we get you ready for baseball's All-Star Game coming up on Tuesday night. It's time now to meet the local artist whose Phillies creations have gone viral.
Positively Philly hosts Rachel Malik and Abby Urban invited her into our studio here to show off her work.
America's pastime makes for some great inspiration on the canvas, especially here in Philly.
That's so true. So we are calling on Jess O'Connor, aka Jess Tries to Paint on social media, to show us how it's done. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
You have such beautiful work. Oh my word, you really transformed this into a little gallery of sorts, a pretty big one. You have so much to focus in on, but let's start with how you got into painting specifically Phillies inspired pieces.
Yeah, so moving closer to Philly, I started to see like the atmosphere, see how much people love Phillies, and I just really got into it. I dove right in.
Yeah, you sure did. People love your work. It's so detail oriented and specific, but there's a real fun energy to the work that you do that seems super intentional.
Yes. So just Citizens Bank in general, like just soaking in the atmosphere and trying to put it on paper so you can take it home with you and like really relive it every time you see.
You do such a great job of that. We're looking at this big painting right now, which is so fantastic. How do you go about approaching a project so, I mean, literally large as this, and of course, large in the magnitude of trying to capture it all?
Just like taking it step by step, it can be really overwhelming to start a big project like that. So just sketching it out, taking it section by section and going along.
Yeah, and then before you know it, you have all of these beautiful pieces. I know people online really love the wearable pieces of art as well. You paint jerseys, jerseys, we see a denim pair of shorts, the hats. What kind of challenges does that open up when you're working with such different mediums?
Well, trying to get like a grip on the flexible paint and trying to get it to sit the way I want it to is really a challenge, but I think I figured out the process and I've gotten it down.
It looks so good. I'm sure people are surprised to know that it's painted. They're like, oh yeah, this is online or something, but you're like, no, I hand did all of these.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy to see. We were talking about how you make your own special mark on some of the paintings like this. You decided that the swirl was kind of last minute.
Yes.
How do you balance that between, of course, having commissions that people call in for you, but also just letting your own creativity be at work?
The swoop on Bryce Harper right here was really a last minute intrusive thought, but really just looking at the painting once I feel like it's finished, I'll add a few little things and then it's really good to go. I'll add my little mark.
Yeah, it's so good. People might also be letting their creative energy flow right now and thinking, I would like this sort of specific piece in my home. Talk to us about the commission process, what that timeline looks like and how people can get in touch.
So going through my website, you can just go to justtrysopaint.com and you can either fill out a commission form where you can put in what do I want, what am I thinking of, and kind of spell it out for me, or you can go through something I've already made, like the jerseys, and you can ship in your own jersey.
Cool.
And I'll go ahead and do that. From the time I get the jersey, I usually give myself 2 to 3 weeks to get it done and really have it sealed and set correctly.
Yeah.
That's very reasonable though, 2
my
to 3
gosh,
weeks.
yeah.
And if there's one thing we know, it's that Jess is going to get it done and make it look fabulous. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, incredible work. Make sure you're following Jess on social media to get all the latest and greatest and keep up with her vendor shows as well. We always appreciate having you. Go Phils.
Go Phils.
All right, well, here's to hoping the Phils help make a work of art in the All-Star Game and, of course, through the rest of the season and another Red October.
And that is our show for tonight. Thank you to the two Dans, Dan Wilson and Dan Baker, for joining the show, and thank you for watching. I'm Tessa Peloso.
I'm Lindsay Moppert. For all of us here, good night and have a great weekend.